कालीकूर्च समायुक्त माया कूटोपदेशतः प्रणवार्थ प्रबोधिन्यौ नमामि गुरुपादुके श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः क्रीं मात्रे नमः। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। Namaskaram to one and all. We are continuing on with the Tattvabodha series, and in this Tattvabodha series we are going to see the 5 sheaths, that is the 5 covers of the Atma. So we previously saw 3 shariras, that is the Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and the Karana Sharira, and now we are going to separate it into different divisions in the name of the 5 sheaths. And we will see how the various parts of the 3 shariras are actually divided into these sheaths and how they are correlated to one another. Starting Panchakoshaha ke Annamaya Prana Annamaya Pranamaya Manomayo Vijnanamaya Anandamayascha iti. So the 5 sheaths are, what are the 5 sheaths? That is the question. Annamaya is one sheath, Pranamaya is another sheath, Manomaya is the third one, and then Vijnanamaya is the fourth one, and Anandamaya is the fifth one. Thus these are the 5 sheaths. This is the definition that is given. Now we need to understand a sheath is a covering. Like for example, a sword has a sheath. So when you take the sword out of the sheath may retain its abilities, its shape a little bit. It may not retain its shape a little bit, but the sheath is different from the sword. And here the Atma, the self, is covered by these 5 sheaths, which are nothing but a simple variation on the 3 shariras. Just like the 3 shariras are covering the Atma, this is also covering the Atma. These 5 sheaths are also covering the Atma. Now let us see them one by one. The first question is Annamaya kaha. What is Annamaya? Annarasenaiva bhutva. Annarasenaiva bhutva. One second. Yeah. Annarasenaiva bhutva. Annarasenaiva vriddhim prapya. Annarupa prithivyam yat viliyate. Tad Annamaya koshaha stula shariram. So here they are defining as that which is created by the essence of food, that which grows by the essence of food, and that which finally merges into the Prithvi Tattva, which is the essence of food. That is called the Annamaya Shariram, and that is also known as the Sthula Shariram. So out of the 3 bodies, one body is right now finished, that is Sthula Sharira. The Sthula Sharira is nothing but the Sharira that which is formed out of food. It grows because of food, and finally when it is over, if you are burying it directly, it is merging with the Prithvi Tattva, which is the food Tattva. And if you are burning it, all the other 4 elements are escaping from the body, from the physical body, and only the Prithvi Tattva is remaining in the form of ash. So that is also Prithvi Tattva. So either way, that which arises out of the food, and then that which grows through the food, and finally it goes back to the food Tattva, which is Prithvi Tattva, and it merges with the Prithvi Tattva. This is what is Annamaya Shariram, and that is also the Sthula Shariram. That is also the gross body. This is the definition given for Annamaya Kosha. Okay, now as I explained before previously, even though the physical existence of the organs of action and organs of perception are existing in the physical body, the functionality of listening, so hearing, so on and so forth, listening, seeing, tasting, so on and so forth, and the actions of moving, giving, taking, thinking, speaking, so on and so forth, all of these things do not belong to the physical body. They are only seated on this particular physical body, and they belong to different shariras. We will see what are the other that belongs to the 17 tattvas of the this one of the Sukshma Sharira, and we will see how that Sukshma Sharira is divided into 2 in the following lines. Pranamaya kaha. Pranadayaha Panchavayavaha Vagindriya Panchakam Pranamaya Koshaha. So Pranamaya kaha. What is Pranamaya? pranadayaha panchavayavaha. So the 5 vayus starting with prana, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, these 5 vayus first, and then panchavayavaha, vagindriya panjakam, the indriya starting with vag, that is the action, the senses of action, that is the karmendriya, the 5 karmendriyas together, it is known as the pranamaya kosha. That is the pranamaya kosha. So the prana sarira or the pranamaya kosha is basically formed of the pranadi panchavayu. And what are the functions of these panchavayu? The 5 airs of the body, the 5 movements of the body, the 5 movements of the air tattva inside the body. That is like this. Prana, that is the breathing, is governed by prana. So inhalation and exhalation. And then apana. Apana is the force with which we are ejecting things. Like the toxic chemicals and other waste from the body is being excreted with the use of the apana. That is, prana is like going this way, up and down, and apana only goes down. 2 things. And then also sweat is an action of apana. Then vyana. Vyana is responsible for the circulation of the blood and also the nourishment of all the cells of the body. And then udana is for reverse process. Udana is a viparita vayu, meaning anything that has to happen naturally. For example, food has to go in this way and come out that way. But due to this udana vayu, what will happen is the food will come out this way, vomiting, spitting, and then sneezing, tears. All these things are the work of the udana vayu. And finally, samana vayu is responsible for the metabolism and the catabolism of the food inside the body, that is breaking down and then building up. So these are the functions: digestion of the food and assimilation of the energy to the blood. These 2 are the works of the samana vayu. So these 5 pranas are one of the parts, or one portion of the prana sharira. And the second portion of the prana sharira is this vakindriya panjakam. So starting from this vak, and then the hands and the legs and the payu and the upastha. So payu upastha is excretion function and procreation function. So these functionalities, these belong to the prana sharira. Now we will get a very important question here. Why are we not speaking about the Kundalini chakras in the Prana Sharira? Because it is very famously known that the Kundalini chakras belong to the Prana Sharira, but we are not at all speaking about it. Unfortunately, it is one of the misinterpretation that has been created in this new age. That is, the Prana Sharira is the area where all these things are located. They are created of all the nadis. All these kinds of explanations will be there in the school of yoga. But once again I am insisting, this concept of Kundalini chakras does not appear in the Veda, it does not appear in the Gita, it does not appear in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra either. It is only appearing for the first time in Saundarya Lahari of Adi Shankara. I don't know where he has taken the source from. The Mahim Mooladhare Kamavi Manipure Hutavaham Sudam Swadishane Hridamaradam Akashamupari Mane Bibhrimadhya Sakalama Vidva Kulapadam Sakasrare Padme Sakalama Vidva Kulapadam Sakasrare Padme Sakargasi Vidya Viharase. So this sloka, and then coming down Sudadhara Sarehi. So this is the place where it is first mentioned, the earliest mention of the Kundalini chakras. Before that, there is no connection between the Kundalini chakra and the Prana Sharira. There is no connection between the Kundalini chakra and the Sukshma Sharira anywhere, and even after that, that connection is not being established very much in the Vedanta system either. Actually, the Kundalini Vidya belongs to the Shaktas. It belongs to us. It is the veneration of the Shakti inside the body in the form of Kundalini, which is nothing but her, Ambal. So, basically what we are trying to establish here is that yoga is overrated. By understanding the other portions of Hinduism, by going through Bhajana Sampradaya, or going through the Yagyas and Yajnas, by going through Vedanta, also you can achieve. It is not that your Kundalini has to awaken, this chakra has to be realized, that chakra has to be realized. That is not how it works. That is one very small portion, which is a secret doctrine that has to be that has to be taught from the disciple to, from the guru to disciple on a one-to-one fashion, and all else is just noise. Noise made for commercial purposes or noise made for other purposes, we don't want to comment on that, but other than that, everything else is noise. And that being stated, these 5 vayus and the 5 organs of action, they together comprise the pranamaya kosha. We can understand that the 5 vayus and the 5 organs of action are a part of the sukshma sharira. So one part of the sukshma sharira is formed of the pranamaya kosha. Next part of the sukshma sharira we will see. Manomaya koshaha kaha manascha jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati saha manomaya koshaha. Manomaya koshaha, manomayaha koshaha kaha. What is manomaya kosha? Okay, mana cha and jnanendriya panchakam, the 5 organs of perception, militva, together, that becomes the manomaya kosha. Okay, now there is a beautiful word that is being used here, militva and bhavati, together becomes. What does this mean? This means that the manomaya kosha is formed not only of the manas but also of the organs of input towards the manas. That is, when my eyes are open and when my mind is not on, then there is no manomaya kosha. When my ears are open but the process of hearing is not reaching the manas as thoughts, then the manomaya kosha does not exist. So this is what we need to understand here. The manomaya sharira is the second portion of the sukshma sharira. That is, the first 5 indriyas and the first 5 vayus, the first 5 indriyas, that is the karmendriyas, and the 5 vayus together we saw as the pranamaya kosha. Now coming back here to the manomaya kosha, we are seeing that the manas and the 5 jnanendriyas together are forming the manomaya kosha. So the manomaya kosha along with the pranamaya kosha together, that forms major portions of the sukshma sharira. Only one thing is missing, that is the chittam. Because we saw the 17 tattvas of the sukshma sharira, thus, that is the 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 vayus, 15. Along with these 15, manas and chitta. So together, this is what is called as the pranamaya kosha. This is what is called as the sukshma sharira. Even I am confusing myself between sukshma sharira and pranamaya kosha. So this is how deep that misinterpretation has gone. So we need to be clear. Here on, we need to be very clear that the these 16 tattvas are established so far. We will see chitta in the next one. Vijnanamaya kaha. Okay, buddhi jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati saha vijnanamaya koshaha. That is, vijnanamayaha. What is vijnanamaya? Vijnanamaya kaha. Okay, so the intellect and the 5 organs of perception together is called as the intellectual sheath. Vijnanamaya is intellectual sheath. So what is the intellectual sheath? The intellectual sheath is comprised of the same 5 organs of perception and the buddhi, which is the intellect. Now this is essentially the same body. The manomaya kosha and the vijnanamaya kosha are essentially the same thing, but the only difference is that whether you are collecting that information as just thoughts or you are consciously collecting that information as knowledge. That is the basic difference here that is being established. That difference makes a huge impact, because whatever information is just crossing you. For example, you are just hearing this, whatever I am talking, from somebody else is playing the video, you are just hearing it, you are crossing it and going. At that point of time, your manomaya kosha is active. Your sense of hearing is active and it is going and getting collected only inside your manas. That is one thing. Second thing is, when you are listening to this intently, when you are collecting this as knowledge using your buddhi, intellect is the sharper part of the mind. Intellect is the seat of knowledge. Mind is the seat of all thoughts. So when this intellect is the collecting agent using the five senses, then the Vijnanamaya Kosha is established. That is the meaning of this. So when this buddhi and manas are together, the next level is chitta. The next level is chitta. Okay. So here when the the chitta is being established, the tattva of the chitta is being established here by the combination of the manas and the buddhi. So when the manas and the buddhi together are established, that becomes chitta. That is the next step. That is will. So when your consciousness or your will is established, we can see that the Sukshma Sharira is actually divisible into two sheaths. The first sheath, three sheaths. The first sheath is the Pranamaya Kosha, the second sheath is the Manomaya Kosha, and the third sheath is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. So we saw that the Annamaya Kosha itself is the Sthula Sharira completely. In its own nature it becomes the Sthula Sharira. Then for the Sukshma Sharira, we are splitting the five tattvas of prana, that is the five prana tattvas, and the five karmendriyas into the Pranamaya Kosha. Then coming back to the Manomaya Kosha, we are splitting the five actions of perception, that is the five Jnanendriyas, and the Manas Tattva into the Manomaya Kosha. And then coming back to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, we are again using the same five sensory perceptions and the five sense organs of perception, and then we are adding the buddhi, which is the collector of information, and we are collector of knowledge, the seat of conscious information, and then we are establishing the will. So the will is generated by the combination of manas and buddhi, and that combination is the 17th tattva of the Sukshma Sharira, and this Sukshma Sharira is formed of Prana Sharira, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, and Vijnanamaya Kosha. So now we can understand that the Anandamaya Kosha is going to be something that is related to Karana Shariram. We will see how that works. Anandamayaha kaha evameva Karana Sarira Bhuta Vishaya Vishayasta Malina Sattvam Priyadi Vriddhi Sahitam Sat Anandamaya Koshaha Etat Kosha Panchakam. So what is being explained here? Anandamayaha kaha. What is Anandamaya Kosha, or the bliss sheath, the sheath of bliss? Okay. Evam, it is this way, alone, only. What is evaha? Alone. What is alone? Karana Sharira Bhuta Vidyasta Malina Sattvam. Okay. So very beautiful here. That is the body that which is established in the ignorance, along with the causal body which is of avidya. Okay, that is bhuta avidyasta malina sattvam. So along with that, when the causal body is established, that which is impure, that is established in ignorance, that which is the form of the causal body, and that is what is Anandamaya Kosha. And when that is along with the thoughts like priya, and then that is the likes and dislikes, when the likes and dislikes are established, then that is what is called as Anandamaya Kosha. And these are the five sheaths. Now this is very, very complex explanation. Whenever we are entering Karana Sharira, we need to understand we are entering dangerous territory. Very, very hard to understand, because we have already told that Karana Sharira or anything related to Karana Sharira is Anirvachaniya. It is very hard, it is impossible to explain through words. So let us assume that we are in the Karana Shariram. What is Karana Shariram? Karana Shariram is the ignorance. It is not an actual body. It doesn't have any components. It is established in the ignorance, and it is the ignorance itself. So it is impure. And now this Karana Shariram is also the base of your identity. We saw that it is the producing area, it is the production in charge of the identity of the self with the Sthula Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira. And when this is happening, what will we do? we will say I like this, I don't like this, I want this, I don't want this. So we will start establishing likes and dislikes. And who is the agent of this like and dislike? Who doesn't like or who likes? The Atma is in the Maya, in the illusion of liking and disliking. Let us understand this very clearly. That is, we are getting thoughts, we are doing actions, but we say I like this action, I don't like this action. I like this taste, I don't like this taste. I like this sight, I don't like this sight. I like this sense of touch, I don't like this sense of touch. So we are having a constant decision making. We are creating a constant duality of likes and dislikes based on our sensory inputs and based on our sensory actions. So where is this likes and dislikes being created? The likes and dislikes are being created in the Anandamaya Kosha, and it is called as the bliss sheath because when the likes and dislikes are coexisting, if the mind is not acting on those likes and dislikes, and if the body is not creating actions to increase the liking, go towards the like and move away from the dislike, then that sheath will be in bliss. It is not Anandamaya Kosha by nature, because the Anandamaya Kosha is constituent of the Avidya Sharira, which is the Karana Sharira. It is not bliss by nature, but it can be bliss by sadhana. That is the meaning of the word Anandamaya Kosha. When you are saying Anandamaya Kosha, you can simply say, well, it is Anandamaya Kosha, so likes and dislikes are Ananda. No, it is not like that. When the Anandamaya Kosha is cleansed, when the body and the mind are not acting out because of the likes and dislikes that are created by the Karana Sharira, then Anandamaya Kosha exists. Otherwise, Anandamaya Kosha is never internalized, it is never realized. We need to understand this portion very, very carefully. Once again, let me explain it one by one. The four sheaths of the body, the first four sheaths of the body, Annamaya Kosha is pure Sthula Sharira. Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha consists the organs of action, organs of perception, and then the buddhi, that is the seat of knowledge, and then the seat of thoughts also together. So when these are coming together, what we can see here is likes and dislikes are being created, and these likes and dislikes are nothing but your samskara, vasana, avidya, whatever name you want to give it. Each of these terms has a different meaning, but essentially all of these things are collected in the Karana Sharira, and because of this complex collection of the likes and dislikes, our identity with the body is established very, very strongly. Our identity with actions is established very, very strongly because of our likes and dislikes. How does this work? For example, you are taking something bitter to a child. It does not know that it is bitter. It is tasting it. Second time you take that bitter thing towards the child, it will move away. It will cry. It will try to protest. It will try to hold your hand, do everything. So this entire action of avoiding that which you dislike, that which is not pleasing to your senses, is caused because of the Karana Sharira. The buddhi, which is a part of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, only has the knowledge that I did not enjoy this particular experience. When we say I did not enjoy this particular experience, which I are we indicating? Are we saying the body did not enjoy this experience, the mind did not enjoy this experience? No. We are saying I, meaning the true nature of the self itself, did not enjoy the experience, and that is ignorance. And the seat of ignorance is the Karana Sharira, and the Anandamaya Kosha is also the area where all these things are being generated, and these things are once again stored back in our body, in our mind, in our intellect, so that we will be able to react positively towards the likes and negatively towards the dislikes. And this entire concept is happening here because of one simple reason, that is the Karana Sharira is creating the avidya, it is creating the wrong information, it is creating the ignorance that the body and the mind is the identity of the self, that the Atma is not Atma, but it is Vishwa, it is Taijasa. So when these two things are being established, we create likes and dislikes within ourselves, and we create duality, and when this duality is created, we fall into the duality of happiness and sadness. Okay, so that is the Tattva Bodha. So we saw there are many other chapters to Tattva Bodha. We will continue seeing that. So with the 5 sheets, we have completed the entire description of that which is not Atma. So we are going to see what is Atma in the future. We saw the 5 shariras, we saw the 5 karmendriyas, we saw the 5 jnanendriyas, we saw the 3 sariras, how it is being formed of them, and then how the this one is being established. So after all of these things are being established, after the Anandamaya Kosha, okay, there is a shloka that which we will see in the next portion. And after seeing that shloka, we will go into the nature of the self, and we will see what is Sachidananda Swarupa, what is Sat, what is Chit, what is Ananda, how are these things practically applicable. Okay, so here in the shloka that is going to come up requires a lot of explanation, so I am not culminating that, I am not putting that inside this particular video. And this shloka is actually going to be your first sadhana of Tattva Bodha. By chanting this shloka, by internalizing the shloka, by realizing the meaning of the shloka, you will be able to identify yourself with the true self, that is the Atma, and you will be able to disassociate yourself with everything else that we have discussed so far. So the next video is a very, very important video. It is a sadhana video, wherein we will see what is this Vedantic sadhana all about, and we will proceed from there. And let us end this video right now. And as I was telling you, this Tattva Bodha series has been started for identifying the terms of Vedanta, to give you a basic understanding of Advaita, and let us see how this turns out to be. I want more support on these videos. For all the other videos I am getting lot of support, but for Tattva Bodha I am only getting like 1/4 of the views. So whoever is interested, please share it to other people who are interested, and make this into a success. And please try to understand Vedanta and go in the right path, instead of going in so many other paths which will lead you nowhere. That being stated, we will end the video. Tacham yora vranema he gatam yajnaya gatam yajnapataye daivi swastirastunaha swastir manushebyah urdhanjigad veshajam shanno astudvipate sanchatushpate am shanti shanti shanti. Namaste. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.